36 days left until America decides. 1 day until the vice presidential debate. This is the warning. September is over and October is at hand. What lies ahead will determine who sits in the Oval Office as the 47th president of the United States of America. And there has never, and I mean never, been a clearer choice than exists right now. Donald Trump this weekend ran on stiffing workers and dreaming of violence. The rough hour, where all of America's problems and ills will be solved. Over and over again here at The Warning, I talk about the concept of time and the notion that life is not a reality show. It's not episodic television. That what happens today, this Monday, is connected to what happened last Monday and the Monday before that. What happened this weekend is part of what will happen today. What happens tomorrow is a product of the sum of all of the days, at some level, since the beginning of time. None of this is disconnected from what happened a moment ago, yesterday, and the day before. None of it. So when Donald Trump talks about punishment and talks about retribution and talks about Haitians eating pets, it's all part of the same rhetoric. And that rhetoric is purposeful. It is deliberate. It is aimed at inciting. It is aimed at dividing. What Donald Trump is doing and spent the weekend doing is whipping crowds into frenzies, talking about they. Have you heard? There's a lot of theys and a lot of thems coming to get you. Just listen to Donald Trump.
They make our criminals look like babies. These are stone cold killers. They'll walk into your kitchen, they'll cut your throat.
By the way, there is a rhythm. It's as predictable now in the 10th year of Trump as the salmon returning to the rivers from where they were born in the Pacific Northwest. Manu Raju's a perfect case in point. Here he is on television demanding a Republican account for Trump's assertions that the vice president is mentally disabled.
So he called her a mentally disabled person and questions her intelligence. Effective line of attack? Or should he focus on something else?
Well, what you're doing, you're using one little clip there and you don't put what was said before, what was said after.
But he did say called her mentally disabled.
That's 100% true, but why is he? What was he talking about?
So you're okay if he goes out and starts attacking
he's
her
trying to
intelligence?
No, what he's questioning here is...
Mentally disabled, that's what he called her. You're okay with her saying mentally disabled. That's the bottom line here.
No, the bottom line is the policy that allowed 13,000 murders in the country and 15,000 convicted of sexual assault.
Now, this is the rhetoric of an autocrat. This is the rhetoric of a fascist who does not believe in or tolerate dissent. If you disagree with Trump, it's not because you disagree with him. It's because you're sick, because you're crazy, because you're a grifter, because you're corrupt. Every person who stands opposed to the accumulation of power by Donald Trump and anybody with him in MAGA is accused of being sick. And at the same time, all of the people who support Trump, no matter what, through thick and thin, through shakedowns and extortions of foreign leaders, through impeachments, through violent insurrections, are always asked if today is the day that Trump has gone too far, as if calling the vice president mentally disabled is a sin of some greater magnitude than trying to overthrow the government. The premise of the question is there a bridge too far? And is there anything that would make you disavow Trump? And the answer, whether it's Kevin McCarthy stuttering his way through an interview or Tom Emmer, is no, never. Let's watch.
Trump last night called Kamala Harris mentally disabled. He said that Joe Biden became that way. She was born that way. Do you think Kamala Harris is mentally disabled? Do you approve of that kind of language?
I think Kamala Harris is the wrong choice for America.
Do you approve of that language? Do you approve of that language? Donald Trump calling her mentally disabled, mentally impaired. So you don't approve of that. You don't.
I think we should stick to the issues.
And let's appreciate what it is that they're defending. They're defending this.
We have to let the police do their job. And if they have to be extraordinarily rough.
And this.
I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated.
And this.
Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day, one rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately.
And this.
I could have been sunbathing on the beach. You have never seen a body so beautiful. Much better than Sleepy Joe.
And this.
Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way.
And the people cheer and they scream in joy for the ravings of an imbecile attacking theys and thems about made-up atrocities that are part of his sick, disordered, and addled mind, but not part of America's daily reality. And yet, some 40% of the country is with him no matter what. This process is called democracy. But we should be clear about what's at stake. This weekend, a Chinese nuclear submarine sank. This weekend, the leader of Hezbollah was killed by precision Israeli airstrikes. The world is teeming with danger. Yet here in the United States, scores of millions stand ready to support insanity, strangeness that defies description, a rancid, revanchist movement that is teeming with racial malice. Scores of millions of Americans cheer for the insanity. The good news is there's more of us than there are of them. If all of us turn out and do our duty as citizens and vote. October is at hand. It's the voting month. This is the month that is decisive in a presidential campaign. And this campaign isn't over. It will be shaped by events yet to come, maybe even what's referred to as the October surprise. Whatever it may be that lies ahead, character is the only issue that matters. Harris has plenty. Trump has none. This is The Morning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Morning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.